Hello.
Welcome to our neck of the woods.
How y'all doing today? Getting the fall cleanup going on. All right. Oh,
For some reason that's not posted.
oh, it didn't post. Oh, there we go.
There we go. We'll
Do
give it a
again.
couple minutes and let a few of you get on here.
Signal on that one.
Hopefully Pappy will be
We'll get a
around
few
today.
on
I'd love
here.
to talk to that fella. See how he's
3
doing.
people, no talking, huh?
No, these are the real listeners. They hang out in the background and don't bother with the nonsense.
Is that what that is?
Yeah, they're good.
Tracy.
Hi Tracy.
How you doing, hon?
I'm
sorry we had to drop out last night. My brother came over to the house and he wanted to talk for a minute, so I had
we
to drop out for a minute.
apologize. We do. We try to be there.
Hey, Ship.
Even if we're in the background, we try to be there. Hi, MBB.
Hey, buddy.
Uh,
I want to try
all right.
something here. Give me a minute. I want to try something. I'm going to check something out.
Did you guys see Ken and Alan this morning?
Oh, man, that was
such
awesome.
good vibes going over there.
That was really good.
Beautiful, just beautiful. I think they're still actually up and running too.
I don't know. Yeah, they might be.
Perhaps they are. Perhaps they are. But
I will see you in a minute.
We went over and we checked out. You guys know Zach, right? Zach Smoose. I think Smoose.
Smoose, yes.
How you say it? Man, he is a beautiful soul. But he's been working on that YouTube, so we went over and we checked it out, and we're gonna start posting our videos. I think over there, yeah. For people who want an alternative to the U.
Yeah. Getting it set up.
Not content.
Getting it set up.
How's those leaves treating you?
There you go, leaf pile out there, huh?
But it's starting to get hot.
Well, yeah, it is warm.
Get some water, get something to drink.
Yep.
Stay hydrated. Hydration is important.
Watch out for those nuts falling from the trees.
All right. So, what do you?
Give me a minute, honey. Doesn't matter. Keep talking. We're on.
Okay. Well, so we were gonna talk about reevaluating if we're really helping people, because that's our original intent. That was our original purpose. Is we wanted to be helpful. We wanted to help you guys, and we also wanted to be a little place of sanctuary, so to speak, away from the news and stuff. So, and we also want to be a little.
All right. Do his thing here.
So, I can't see the chat right now, but I will see it in a moment. So we want. I mean, look, the chaotic energy is getting thicker and thicker, and it's seeping into everyday life for a lot of people, and I know that, and I can only say, get deep in your faith and explore your relationship with the Creator, because right now is the time where that's most vital. Everybody has their own way. If you can't respect other people's ways, that's not what we're about here. Obviously, we like to look at things from a lot of angles. Hey, Dusty, good to see you, man. We got to catch a glimpse of your preparity the other night. That was pretty cool. If you guys haven't checked out Dusty Data, hey Ship, can you pop his link in there maybe, or Tracy or somebody if you have. Hey Joe. Hey Love Pugs.
Hey, Love Pug.
Yes, ma'am.
We will.
Yes, ma'am. And we will pass that along as well. Yeah, Dusty Data's got a really cool channel. I really like his channel. And Ship, you haven't been showing up for us. Have you been posting?
Yeah.
And Tracy said hi.
Yeah,
Hi,
Tracy said hello.
everyone.
I understand that. And listen,
Okay.
we're gonna have to get this under control because what?
Hold on a minute here.
Hi, Gary.
Gary. All right. Did you
Gary,
get something to drink?
we're gonna
Okay.
set up a personal meeting to discuss that documentary. You want to get in on that? I think it would be a good conversation. Just let me know and I'll reach out to you. We seem to have a little discombobulation, but it'll all work itself out. A lot of storms coming in right now too, you guys. So
Big storms coming.
if you need to get out and run to the store, you should probably have already done that. But please do it now if you haven't. There's going to be massive major storms covering the United States. So there are going to be some areas that are going to be hit with blizzard-like conditions out west, but east of the Rockies. That's the Rockies out west, right? Appalachian.
Yeah.
On the
Rockies.
east and the Rockies out west. So east of the Rockies, there's going to be some blizzard-like conditions over there, and then Oklahoma and Texas is going to get hard hit for a couple days with major storms. So
Seen that on Ryan Hall.
I know we have quite a bit of extended family down there in Texas and in Oklahoma. So y'all just keep your hats on and your rain slickers by the door, right?
As my grandpa used to say, gotta get my rubbers on.
Oh yeah, Ken had a great show.
Yeah, it was a good show.
Good vibes, great music, just enjoying company. We need to get back to that.
It was something different. That was for sure. It was nice.
Totally need to get back to that. So yeah, we've just been reevaluating the energy, because we really do want to. We do want to help. We do want to spread the love, and we want to help lift up other people's spirits too, and keep those vibes high. Because, again, it is imperative. It is pertinent now more than ever. I think we're running into some rough waves coming soon. If you're not already feeling it, you will, most definitely. But I want you to know that you guys can reach out. I mean, a lot of you that have reached out, they already have my number. Don't be afraid to use it. That's why you have it. So should that time come, please do reach out or email me. I know it's been a couple of days since I answered emails. I needed to take a couple of days off from that, but I will do it this afternoon. I will go in and answer emails, and then I'll check them again tonight before bed. Yeah, season is at play here, because we all know that seasonal changes affect people's moods and stuff too. So bear that in mind. but there's so much other stuff going on that we have to bear all of it in mind, right? It's just connecting with the seasonal change time as well. So that's right, Joe. Big group hug.
Joe.
Give
You
me
got
guys
her,
big
Joe.
hugs. Big hugs. And we are all more connected than we think we are. The separation is only physical, and the physical matters in some instances naturally, but I think the spiritual now more than ever, super important, you guys. Super important. So hey, I'm gonna go ahead and pop the link in here. Hey Ship, you want to come up for a minute, man? We haven't talked to you in a little bit, and I really love our conversations. So I'll pop that in there. If you, unless you may still be working. That is one working fella. I tell you, I don't know that he ever slows down and stops. Hey Shift, good to see you.
When his eyelids are shut, when he stops.
I just keep picturing the. I'm going to say it in this way because people will understand it better this way. I keep picturing that promised land because I know it's there. So it's going to be glorious, right? Once we've all been raked over the coals enough times, it's going to be glorious, man. It's going to be beautiful. I can't wait for the future. Super excited about it. It pumps me up. It gets my spirits real high. Keeps my vibes really good. I'm probably going to be painting in the next couple of days. We may not actually do a talking type of show. I may just do a painting or two. I am going to paint peace tomorrow. So Nathan, if you are listening, I have not forgotten you. Yeah, I haven't forgotten you. And I will probably be starting on peace, the peace painting tomorrow. I haven't seen him in a while.
I'll have to give him a drop.
Yeah, we'll have to drop him a note there. So yeah, hey, what do you guys want to talk about today? I try to just, pop our little message out there, and then let's move on. A paint story. How so do you mean, Joe?
Her name is not Bob Ross.
I love Bob Ross.
I know you love Bob Ross, but you're not Bob Ross.
Bob Ross was a great dude. People made fun of him, but man, he was pure love. He was pure love.
Yep.
He put so much good stuff out there. Not just his paintings, but just good vibes. Yes, Robert. Mirror, mirror in the sky. Oh, did you get to finish it? That was fascinating. Super fascinating. You storytell and illustrate as you go. I have not done that. I will think about it though, because it's very interesting, and there are some paintings that that come out of me that tell a story. Hey, Mutt. Good to see you, man.
Hey, Celtic. How you doing, bud?
Hey, Don. Robert, what?
What?
Eh? I will kicking and screaming, huh? I enjoy the fall. It actually, I a long time ago when I was a kid, actually, I was told that to enjoy the fall because that's when the trees finally get their rest and they get to sleep in the winter, and then they wake up in the spring renewed. So that's always made me feel like fall is like, that blanket of leaves, right? Words can create imagery uh, just as powerful as the imagery itself. So, and sometimes more powerful. I find when I read a book and then I watch the movie, I'm always disappointed in the movie because my imagination complex is so much more active, so much more colorful, um, and a really good author can bring a story to life for me. Like I can live the characters. So I'm always careful what I do read because really good books I can become part of. You know what I mean?
Dang.
Yeah, the pig nuts are falling.
Yeah, pig nuts are falling.
The sky is falling. The
They're
sky
hitting
is
the chimney top. And of course, I have a metal chimney top, and it ding, ding, ding.
Yeah. Yep, Robert. Yeah. Yes, Joe. Authors paint with words, and I haven't ever done a story painting, but I may. I may. There are a couple things that I really do want to get painting on. Some things that I don't know how well I do at talking while I'm painting. Um, I can try it, but it won't be with the peace painting. Peace is the name of the falcon that a brother of ours, Nathan, recently lost, and he really loved that falcon. And I told him I would paint her for him. So that's probably the painting. I'm going to be working on that in the next couple days, and so we may just do that. I may just do a painting show rather than a talking show, or let Jeff talk and I'll paint in the background or what have you. Hey, give us 1 minute. I need to go refresh my coffee.
Yeah.
Pappy, I love you. I'm so happy to see you.
Gary. What's his last name?
Oh, and BB, I don't know. What does it mean when just one pigeon shows up and you never had any before? That means more are coming for sure. Because once one finds food, the rest will. All right, sorry about that. Didn't figure you guys wanted to be all jostled around while I climbed up and down. It is so good to see you guys. And Pappy, it's so good to see you here. I was waiting for you yesterday on pins and needles, waiting for you to come back up. I hope you got your technical difficulties sorted. Pigeons moving into that area. Um, Seems like their natural environment may be getting disrupted or maybe something is not well with their food supply or water supply. Usually, I mean, there are very few reasons I think why animals will migrate to different areas. We see it all the time with the four-legged variety being shoved out of the woods and closer to civilization, where they normally would have stayed away from, but they can't because their environment's getting destroyed. Or honestly, I think they poison water supplies and stuff like that on purpose. I do feel that way. Yeah, listen, guys. Conservative. I usually am very grateful for your post. Rumors of wars and rumors of wars. We're in that time. We're in that time frame. But I'm not gonna hype up that bullshit.
No.
Not today.
Look over here while we're doing this over here.
I'm not gonna do it. We
People
need to
start
stay.
open their eyes.
We need to stay focused.
They need love on
Focused.
people. Right. Worrying about everything
on
that's
love.
out.
Because we can't.
Gotta
Again,
keep moving forward.
you guys hear us say it every day.
Light.
We cannot live in a spirit of fear. We cannot. This is not the time.
Farmer
Hey,
son.
farmer son,
What are you
winner,
doing there?
chicken dinner. He won property.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, you guys. And while I do appreciate you, conservative, I'm not knocking you, but I want to keep that out of here for the next couple days.
Many a years.
Unless there's like an imminent nuke coming on my head,
right.
I don't want to do it. Yeah, we're gonna spread some joy, not fear. So I've shared the link a couple times. I really am hoping that Pappy, sir, if your stuff is working again,
right.
and if you're up to it, because I know you had some stuff done the other day, I would truly appreciate words of wisdom in this time frame from you, sir. You know I want to call him Dad, right?
Happy's just
Love
flying
you.
from here.
Love you, Aunt Polly. And you're right. My walk is my own, just as yours is, right? So. I've seen some weird stuff going on with some of the birds. A lot of weird stuff going on with the birds. Hi, kiddo.
That's crazy. Crazy. All right.
Yeah, yep, they're really pushing the programming really hard right now, you guys. We can't allow them to do that. Give me 1 minute here. Oh, and look, you got. Hey, B-Dog, how you doing?
From Joe.
Yeah. Hi, Raina.
Hi.
And from Aunt BB.
Hi, Betty.
She's having a good day today. Dad did up a big old pile of leaves for
Leaves out there.
Honey Bun, our cat Honey Bun. She's been
Chipmunk
on
after
the
chipmunk after
hunt.
chipmunk after chipmunk after chipmunk after chipmunk.
I made the joke. I made
Yeah,
the
this
joke
is
last
actually
night
funny.
because
I thought.
normally we call the chipmunks grass rats. And last night I'm looking at all the chipmunks laying in front of my door, and I was like, "Ooh, they got stripes on their back." I said, "She's bringing home the cat bacon." So I think we're gonna start calling them cat bacon. But she was sure bringing home the bacon last night. Sure bringing Hi, Pappy. How are you feeling?
I got a little bit of a upper respiratory thing going on. Can you hear me okay?
Yes,
Yes,
we
sir.
can.
Yeah, I went down
doing a
to
little bit better today.
I went down to the hospital Wednesday for some testing. I was there for about 3 hours, breathing in all that germ-filled air, I guess. Well,
Yeah.
yesterday I woke up with upper respiratory stuff and all junked up, and so I went to work on it. I feel a little bit better today. I'll feel better tomorrow, I'm sure. So
All right.
hard to put an old fella under the ground when he ain't ready.
That's right.
That's right. You just keep telling them you ain't going nowhere.
Well, not yet.
Can you take oh geez, I can't even talk about any of that. They got new rules now. Can you take that homemade recipe we were posting everywhere for a while?
Well,
with the grapefruit in it?
I went to the store yesterday. They didn't have one grapefruit in there. Not a one.
You can. What about lemons or oranges?
Yeah, they've got
You
that.
can do, yeah. I
Where's
was
this come
listening to
from?
somebody last night talking about they do theirs with grapefruit, lemon, orange, and ginger, which real ginger,
Real-
I
just
mean,
as
you
good.
can't beat
Yeah.
ginger, right? That's some powerful medicine right there.
Well, the whole idea of putting the original recipe together. Now, a lot of people have added a lot to it, and most of those herbs and stuff in there, they do have their own qualities and different things that they'll work for. Of course, not only the high vitamin C content, but the other chemicals that they have. Primarily, the grapefruit is utilized for its ability to produce the HCQ, if you will, you know, and then the lemon, of course, adds the extra vitamin C to it. But I was wondering about heating that stuff up in the regular, the tonic water. That people, you can
Yep.
because the tonic water has quinine in it, and quinine, the body turns that into that. So yeah, it's going to end up being bitter.
Listening, farmer son?
What's that?
I said, are you listening, farmer son? Because he can't have grapefruit because of his meds.
Oh yeah. Well, maybe. Yeah, I like to use the. If you go in and look for the tonic water, and it'll say right on there it's made with quinine, which is one of the things that they think is proven helpful. But what I've done is yesterday I went and took a handful of white sage, put that in my stainless steel pot, added some distilled water, went over to my spice rack and took out 2 big bay leaves and put in a half a teaspoon of rosemary, dried rosemary.
I was just going to say rosemary.
Yep. And then went to the refrigerator and pulled out a teaspoonful of crushed garlic. I put that in there and get that all boiling real good until it steams. And what you do is you put a towel over the back of your head and you breathe that steam in.
Yep.
Breathe it in through your nose, make sure it gets up into all your sinuses and everything.
Right.
Open your mouth up and just get it down into your lungs. And you do that until you can kind of feel the steam building up on your face. You do that 2 or 3 times a day. And all of those herbs that are in there and that steam, the volatile oils that are within that those herbs will come up and you'll breathe them in. They are antimicrobial, antiviral, antifungal. They'll clear your sinuses out, and it makes me feel like I was back in the sweat lodge again.
Well, you sound
So I
good
still
and
got it
strong
sitting
today.
on the pot. I do that about 3 times. What's that?
I said, well, you sound good and strong today.
Still have it. Well, I'm not too awful bad, so I'm in pretty good shape. It works pretty quickly, surprisingly, and that's usually what I do because I'm subject to sinus infections anyways from seasonal allergies. So something I've gotten used to doing.
Yeah. Real quick here, B-Dog, no, I've never tried stone or a rock carving.
I'd love to learn how, though.
That would be something I'd like to learn one day. Yes.
I don't have the first clue about stone carving, but I'm sure be interested in learning that. That would be an amazing skill set. Plus, I like new mediums. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
So,
there's another one.
Raina and I went delving in your channel yesterday, and we were watching a couple things, and she's very excited because Mom is going to let her build a lodge for special purposes in the backyard on her own. Well, I'm going to help her because, I'm probably going to use it too. So, and we're going to do that, not just as a project, that we can, and I love it because I can use stuff like that to count towards her homeschooling because it's things that she's learning. But she's learning more behind it as well from your teachings. And I can't tell you how much I appreciate you. If we got a mod out there that's got Pappy's link, drop it in the chat for him. If you guys have not checked out Pappy's channel, I really, I say today is a good day to go do that.
Well, it sounds to me like you're making a woman's lodge.
Well, probably, yeah.
I mean, it's good. It's a good place for the two of you to go in there and do some teaching,
Yeah.
Yeah, we're excited.
Good.
We're excited. We got a good spot for it too.
Excellent. Excellent. I think everybody should have a sacred space, and I think that's important for children when they're growing up too.
Yeah.
To have a place they can go that's a safe place, that's
Mine was
special.
always, I would always climb a tree in the backyard. We had this one tree that was it was perfect for climbing. And I would climb up there, and I had a branch that I sat on, and I would sit up there and I'd read books, and I had a little AM radio, that had the little thing on it. I could put it around my wrist, and I'd put it around my wrist, and I'd carry that little AM radio up there with me up the tree and listen. Thank you, Robert. And just listen to music and read books. And that was my favorite place growing up, that tree branch.
I spent a lot of time in trees, when I was younger. Yeah. Well, of course, I was born covered in hair like a monkey, but
Wow.
I was born a redhead. My mom said when I was born, I was her biggest baby, and I had the reddest head full of hair that she'd ever seen on a newborn. Because I guess my hair was like yay long when I was born.
Yeah, I had platinum blonde, and my brother had the red hair. Just go figure. We grew out of it. Now I don't have any hair. Except on my face.
It's the turning of the circle, right?
What's that? Oh, yeah.
Turning of the circle, right?
Yeah, turning of the circle.
Yeah, I was reading Betty's comment here about the big difference in men and women's lodge. Good for the mothers to have a lodge for them and their daughters and their grandchildren. And I think I touched on that one day. We were talking about the differences between men and women's medicine or ceremony and stuff. Yeah, it's interesting. I think you'll find some. I've just about got all the books together that I'm going to be sending out to you guys for this first batch. So I'll probably get them out early next week to you. So there might be some information in there you can you can find useful about that too. So,
Okay, cool. Awesome.
you know,
Um,
you mentioned stones. I wanted to show you something. I was going to show it to everybody the other day. Is there anybody in here that really likes crystals? Okay, and
Yes.
work with crystals or whatever. Well, a number of years ago, I happened to come across a crystal, and I used it for many years in my Reiki healing. Whenever I had somebody coming in for Reiki healing, and I would place it underneath them on the floor. Why on the floor?
Earth energy.
This is a rose quartz. Let's see. Can you see this thing?
Wow.
Back it up here next to my head.
How much energy is stored in a crystal that size?
it's a
This
lot of
rose-
energy in there.
Yeah, this rose quartz right here. It is not indigenous to this area. Okay. However, this was found on a farm about 15 miles north of where I am, on an old family farm. I bought it from that family for $75. That rose quartz is probably originally from up in the New Hampshire, Vermont mountain areas, someplace up there. So
At a
it
grand?
had come down sometime in the trades, if you will, with the Native Americans, because that's old Native American grounds up there. But holy mackerel, that a crystal's ability to hold energy and to focus that energy and then to release that energy is well proven over the years. And I've used them many times in very different stone people. But the color of the rose quartz is indicative of the heart center.
Yes.
Okay, that's where all my healing goes through is the heart center. So it was perfect for that, for Reiki, So, but I wanted to show that to you. So, at some point in time,
glad you did.
what's that?
So glad you did. Yeah. Now, are you're from up in New England area, right?
Oh, well, I'm originally from far northern New York, up by the St. Lawrence River. That's where I'm from originally.
Just
up
real
there.
quick.
Winters are real every year up there.
Oh yeah. I used to live in Claremont, New Hampshire.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, right across the Connecticut River there. I could look the house that we lived on up on Bible Hill. You could look right down the valley and see Albany. You have to have a good pair of binoculars, but you could see Albany, New York, straight on a really clear day. We had my stepdad had binoculars that were like, I don't know, military size. They were huge, big, long. You put them up and it was like, wow. But anyhow, yeah, you could just see Albany, New York. We could get Albany news. We could get all the New York news just because of the position of our house. But what I was coming to was, have you ever been up Mount Washington?
No, I have not. No.
There are, if you ever get a chance, even if you don't go up on top of Mount Washington, when you get near Mount Washington, the waters that are coming down up out of the mountains there, you can go right in the streams and you can find rose quartz and it's a green jade. Beautiful crystals. They're not big. They're just tiny. They're in the rivers where everybody likes to fly fish, but it's towards the bottom of the mountains. You have to be like up towards the bottom because they come up down out of the hills there. Yeah. Like you were saying, they wash down throughout the years.
I've always been fascinated with the stone people. I mean, I've got more stones I've collected over my life. Good Lord.
Yeah. And then to connect this with B-Dog real quick, there was a gentleman that I watch on YouTube, and he's a gold panner. He likes to pan for gold and whatnot. He's out of British Columbia. And there is a river he went to, and there's these little tiny, I mean, they are tiny, like almost the size of what Betty had sent Raina. They're tiny little rocks. You can go ahead and take that off. It's not loading for me. and you can get those all day long. He just brings up a tray, scoops a bunch out of the river, shakes it, gets it all done just like doing gold, and then he flips it over, and then he scoops handfuls of these red garnets or red gems, tiny
Wow.
little red gems. Takes
Wow.
them back. His wife makes necklaces out of them. He likes to find rocks. Cut the rocks to get different colors out of them. He looks for geodes. He looks for that kind of stuff. He works with it all the time. I didn't know if maybe B-Dog ever heard of him or not. I don't remember his name. I do have it in my subscriptions, but I can't get my tab to load. So
Does he have a YouTube? Does he have a YouTube channel?
yes, he does. When I get it, I can send it to you.
Who?
Well, just
It's that
one of these
gold
days,
mining
post it in your.
Oh
post it in
yeah,
your
that
community.
guy is cool. He takes
that?
his whole family,
Yeah, he takes his whole family with him.
kids and
They
everybody
do it
are
all
out there.
together. His wife, him, his son and daughter, and his other son.
Well,
What an
when you get
adventure.
your
I think
family enthused to something, it's just so much nicer, you know.
Oh yeah. Hi Bella. Yeah, it was really neat. That it was kind of a correlation of a good conversation right there because he had
Mhm.
brought that up, and yeah, I've seen some of the stuff that he has actually found up there in British Columbia, and wonderful, awesome looking. I'd like to go do it. I mean, just to have some fun. I mean, we do have that place out here in the Americas here. You can go look for diamonds. It's that
Yep.
field that you can go. I think
Colorado.
is it Colorado? I can't remember where it's at.
I think
but
it's,
yeah, you can
it's
go out
the
there.
only public diamond mine
Yeah.
anywhere in the world.
Yeah, that's
That's
there's one down south too. I think it's Arkansas.
Oh,
But,
okay.
maybe it is.
All right.
Maybe it was
Maybe
Arkansas.
it might have
There's
been.
only
I know
that's
up in New
probably it.
York they have the Herkimer mines up there where you can get the what they call the Herkimer diamonds, but those are actually quite a super hard quartz, but they're crystal
Okay.
clear like a diamond. You know.
Wow.
Oh wow, cool.
Wow.
That's awesome.
In my
Can I ask?
bag of stones, I'm sure they're there someplace.
Can I ask you a question on the spiritual side?
Which
Well, I'll,
talking about the
I'll-
heart, Betty?
Yeah, hold on a second, Betty. And she hasn't stopped carrying it around with her, but let me go grab her. I want to ask Pappy a question
Go
real
ahead.
quick. What do you,
You got your quartz heart?
maybe it's just me seeing it. I don't think it's me seeing it, but there is a big rise in women's medicine lately. I don't know how to call that. The more towards the feminine side of the duality of things.
Yes.
There's been a rise of strong women. But
There you go.
let me put my hand
that-
behind it so I have some.
Is that quartz or is that selenite?
Yeah.
Or,
This is rose quartz, and it was
Oh.
carved into a heart.
And
There you
she
go.
loves it.
Mhm.
It
And
came
she
at the perfect time,
and she can string
right
it
when
too.
she needed it most.
You know,
You see that, B-Dog?
there's a Native American saying: if you give someone a stone in the shape of a heart, it means that their heart will never be broken. At least by the giver. Let's put it that way.
Your heart will never be broken by Betty.
That's
Beautiful.
That's kind of neat. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Okay, well, getting back to your question about
Absolutely.
Oh, that would be nice,
the
B-Dog.
feminine energy is absolutely on the rise. And this is something that I've alluded to over the years. And when I say over the years, I'm talking about since about the turn of the millennium. Okay, I've noticed this shift in energy. Okay, and right now, well, we're getting to the point where it's almost a culmination where the conflict will end pretty soon. Okay, right now
I have that feeling too.
we're right in the birthing pains of it, because there is conflict. whenever
It's like
you
the
have,
shoulders are stuck.
Yeah.
whenever
Sorry,
you
I've
whenever
had
you
a couple kids, so
whenever you have one system going out that doesn't want to leave and another system coming in that has to be there, there's usually a period of conflict and scuffling. So, yeah, that's going on, and of course there's a lot of confusion that comes in that because the strong women that are coming forward, even the new faces that we're seeing coming up in politics and in other modalities that are influencers are female. Okay, and their take on things has that definite energy with it. Now, I think it's a natural process. I think it's a process that's been in the works for a period of time. We go through these cycles. Now, you remember, my way of math is 1 plus 1 does not equal 2. Okay. 1 plus 1 in balance equals another new 1. And that's the way these energies are supposed to work. They're supposed to be in balance, not one higher than the other or not one
right.
over top of the other. Okay.
Do you feel that we're coming to the part where we're getting balanced finally, where the ship will stop rocking?
Well, I think what'll happen is first it's got to go to a tipping point. Okay. If you're on the teeter-totter, okay, and that your husband on the other side of you far outweighs you, and you rely on just gravity alone, you're always going to be high in the air. You can't touch your feet to the ground. Okay. But at some point, you'll get to where it's almost a balance point. And once you can get your feet on the ground, now you can control the action of the teeter-totter. The only time that you will both be in balance on the teeter-totter is if you both weighed the same and were in harmony. That's the only time. And that's hard to do when one outweighs the other. One has to give up something that the other can receive in order to come into balance. Okay, yes. We're going to be getting close to that. But at first, I think we're going to need to tip it over, make the spill on the floor, mop it up, and then let the lessons be learned, and then come together in the 1 plus 1 equals a new 1. That's where we're at right now. So yeah, look for the spills on the floor. They're coming.
Yeah, I get that feeling. Like it's so important right now to come together and to realize those connections. And I know I've been saying it for days. You guys are probably so sick of hearing me say it, but it's so important. It is so important that we live in the love and not in the fear right now. It is so important that we are positively energized right now, And right now, I know may last for a couple days, so I might say it a couple more times. But it's really important.
It's important. It's important for all the males out there to not be afraid to embrace the feminine that's within themselves. Okay, right. And the reason that I say that is, not to change your wardrobe in your closet or anything of that nature, but to basically bring yourself into balance with the understanding of being fully human. Okay, to come into an agreement with emotions not being a strength or a weakness, just being part of who you are, and then utilizing it in such a way that it comes out in a balance, and vice versa. The ladies over the last couple of decades have been able to exert the warrior spirit within themselves, the male energy that is within them, so that they can be assertive. Okay, once those two things are achieved in balance, and the people are satisfied with the fact that they can be both things and be a unique individual, okay, that's where the teeter-totter doesn't have to rock back and forth. That's the balance point. Okay, so right now we're rocking back and forth. you know, and that's all part of it, and that's what we're used to, you know. So now that things are changing a little bit, you know, we're cognizant of that change. We feel that change. We know that change is there. We just can't exactly see what it is. Okay, but it's there nonetheless.
I
We
feel like
just
I'm
need to
supposed to be a grounding rod of sorts. And I
well,
don't know why I have that feeling, but I have that feeling. And, you know, like that's why there are so many days I don't want to get on and do this. And it's not because I don't love you guys and want to spend time with you. That's me, you know. But I feel like I'm a grounding rod. And I don't know why ever in the world any being with any intelligence whatsoever would think that I would be a good grounding rod. But I feel that way. And I don't, and so, and maybe that's what's keeping me grounded
what
at
does
this
the
point
lightning?
in time.
Heather, let me ask you a question. What is a lightning rod supposed to do?
Oh God, absorb the lightning,
Yeah,
absorb
but
the shock.
For what reason?
It absorbs the energy.
To put the energy, to disperse the energy through the earth so that it doesn't cause danger to anyone, right?
There you go. Okay, now get my finger in the right place here. Okay,
Yeah.
exactly. What a lightning rod does is that it attracts excess energy that's in an area, okay, and runs it safely to ground so it doesn't cause destruction, so it doesn't cause disruption, so it doesn't cause divisiveness, so it doesn't cause confusion, so it doesn't cause fear, so it doesn't cause panic, doesn't cause anger. Okay, so by you saying that, that's just another confirmation of the other conversations that we've had in the past, that you were meant to be what we call a go-between. Okay,
A
and
what?
what is it?
Can you say it one more time?
You
Yeah.
you are, and you were meant to be a go-between. Okay.
Okay.
Now, what is a go-between?
A
A
conduit.
go-between, a person that stands with one foot on both sides, right?
Oh, okay.
Nailed it.
For the purpose of being what? The bridge.
Okay, yeah, okay, because you gotta yes. You gotta be able to connect.
The pathway.
So you bridge your path, right? Yeah.
Gary's my brother, so I think he wants you to adopt him too.
I have a 4-bedroom house. My wife and I use 1 bedroom, so I've got the space. Bring your own teepee. I mean toilet paper.
Awesome.
Right? And you did Tara, right?
All right. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I mean, do you have lamb's quarter? I mean, I am country, all the way country. I know how to go around that. If there is none, I know how to go around that. What plants to use and which ones not to use.
There's always a way. There's always a way. And I was born and raised in country. I didn't see my first flush toilet until I was maybe.
I know. I grew up with an outhouse too. That was the first house I remember, and that's really uncommon for people my age. But we cooked on a potbelly stove. We bathed in a wash tub. My mom heated the water on stove, on the potbelly stove, and we had an outhouse, and it wasn't a big deal. We played in the creek, you know.
Well, with the way
the
all
only time
these,
it was a big deal was when my brother and I went out and ate a whole bunch of inkberries. That was the only time it was a big deal.
well, the way these smart fellas are handling the decisions of the world, we might end up doing that again. Who knows?
Yeah. So, I mean, you know, I don't know. I know there is a lot of benefit to technology, but I think we can never forget the simple earthy ways of being connected. I firmly believe that creator, we're not the only living things. There's animals, there's insects. If you think that there's not life in the earth as well, a spirit to the earth as well, maybe you're underestimating creator.
Yeah.
Because I can feel that. You know, I can't feel a stone. I'll say that. I would love to get to the point where I could touch a stone and feel it. But I can hug a tree and I can feel that tree. And you know, I try to teach my daughter to be accepting of the fact that she can literally uh, communicate, because there is life there and all life is connected.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, you know, you bring up a good point there, and this is, you know, some people perhaps get a little confused. You know, everything is made up of energy, okay? But the living things, the trees, the grasses, the animals, you know, even the moving air and the moving water. Now that has, you know, that has a different type of energy than does the stone people. Okay, it's the energy is still there. Now, in my way of thinking and the way that I was, you know, the information was brought to me was that the stone people were the record keepers. They absorb energy. They they oscillate at a slower frequency, well, with the exception of the lava, which is at a higher frequency, but at a lower frequency, and it can absorb things and it releases it. Um, you know, but it releases it in subtle ways. You know, so it's basically in order to in order to interact with the stone people, you almost have to slow yourself down to the cycle of the earth. You know, you really have to tune out all the higher frequency stuff. You know, and it can be done with a with some work. But you know, on the opposite side of that, the stone people can be programmed for different functions. Now we have crystals in a lot of our technology today. You know, they use them because they oscillate truly and
I can feel energy in crystals.
mhm,
And
yeah,
I
they're
you
higher
can
frequency.
you
Yeah.
can I think a lot of us, I hypothesize, um it's partly because of the amount of water within our vessels, but also because I think that we are like coming to a point where we are almost our spiritual selves are almost in a crystalline type
Well,
of state.
we are living liquid crystals. You know, if you stop and think about the makeup of our body, the fluid aspect of it, you know, look at all the minerals that are within our body. Okay. And it is energized by the spirit energy. You know, we have electrical energy in there and, you know,
So
chemical energy.
by that, how would we go about accessing? I guess you'd have to probably go through the Akashic records or something, but I would be interested in accessing like ancestral memory, like race memory. Like, you know, how deers for generations, if you kill off a whole generation, the next set of deer that come in there, it's like they run across the same paths. It's like they have a that racial memory, right? Their species, that species memory. I don't know what you call it, but um, I believe we have those. I just don't know how to tap into it.
Well, I think that, you know, there's a difference between actual memories and
Like
instinct
stored
and
information.
behavior patterns, you know. You know, I guess that raises the question. It does. It certainly does within me. Do I want to know all the secrets of the world? I don't know as I have room in between my ears to hold all the secrets of the world. I can't hold important information in there now because it's getting so crowded in there. I get a new appointment date comes in this ear. The one I was supposed to go to tomorrow fell out that ear. It's just the way things are. You know,
Right.
but there are people that say you can do that. Can I do it? No, not that I'm aware of. Am I capable of doing it?
That would
Maybe.
be that would kind of be like being able to speak to the stones, wouldn't it? I mean, you would have to. I would assume that would take some internal digging, right? Like some serious slow down meditation or prayer that's maybe like a rite of passage almost. Like to be able to be handed those type of, like, I think Tesla was one of those beings that had he had a, not really a memory, but like access to knowledge. You know what I mean? That
More like a
like a
conduit.
key,
More like a
like a
conduit.
conduit.
A conduit
Yes.
from. And I think I want you to think about something. If you look at a lot of the great discoveries that have happened around the world, isn't it unusual that there will be 2 or 3 or 4 different people from around the world that kind of come up with the same concept of the idea at almost the same time?
Same time.
Uh-huh.
Why is that? That tells me that there's intelligence behind the release of the information.
Yeah.
I mean, they'll come out with different ways. If you take a look at the electricity that we have today, it could have gone Tesla's way, but it ended up going whose way?
Einstein's.
Well, Bell. Yeah.
Yeah,
So that we
Bell.
had the AC and the Tesla was basically the DC. So there's 2 different ways of doing things here. But they come up with the ideas almost the same time. That is odd.
Yeah.
It's
All
just
right. We'll see you later, Polly.
it's too much to be coincidence. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Have a good afternoon.
Yeah. But then is that like and that's what I wonder, like is it an intentional release from these puppeteers, these controllers?
Well, if you want to call it that.
Or is it a door that popped open, but only for a few that were far enough down the hall, right?
Well, yeah, it's that is the question. Searching for the answers to that is, and that is the big question. Why do things happen in the way that they do? Especially if you don't know what the source is that it come from, and all you could do is formulate in your mind what you think the source might be and give it a name and say, well, that must be it. Whenever I do that, I find out later on that I wasn't very accurate, but that's a good point. I think there's got to be, if we look at the concept of progression over time, okay, there has to be steps and various different things that allows one to get over a threshold, so to speak, or a plateau that they might be on, or some little obstacle that's in there. And I certainly think that every one of us individually is open to receiving divine help. Why not collectively, as a species? Why not collectively as part of the galaxy, as part of the universe, as part of creation? So one leads to the other. They're all connected. But so I that's why I say there's in my mind, it's telling me there's some kind of intelligence there.
Yeah. And you're absolutely right. I mean, I don't know. I'm starting to feel like it's the way of leaked intelligence. Because the more I dig into our lost histories as a from all over the world, there's this is not the first time they've tried to do this, and they've succeeded previously. So when you say, when we talk about how important it is to stay in those high vibes and keep that love vibration up, there's a reason for that, you guys. Light will extinguish darkness. It
might
will.
have to start over again, but we will.
Love can truly destroy hate and fear and all that other darkness. And you're always going to have duality, no matter where you're at. There needs to be a balance in life, and all life is connected. So we are reflections of things that are going on. Okay. I want you to think about this. I just want you to consider it. That these cities, they move in these cities, they start building out these cities. Okay. And what does that do? It pushes out the wildlife native to that area. All right. Now that pushes that wildlife into an area not native to it. So it either becomes A, extinct from being overhunted then, or B, it becomes invasive and takes over other ecosystems and can destroy those because the balance is very fragile. So then the people in the city, because of this imbalance created outside the city in nature and in the ecosystem, then you're going to see trees and plants and things start dying off, which is going to cut the amount of oxygen in your area directly. Now you add in all the industrial smoke and things that's poisoning the rest of the plants that the destruction of the first didn't take care of. And you see that these things mirror each other and the people start getting sick, just like the animals, right? And things are not natural. They're being natural is being in balance. Yeah, that kind of equates for me, I think. I don't know. Your thoughts, Peppy?
Well, the thing that that gets reinforced all the time is that even though those that had the ability to change the environment do so, they do so with full understanding of how interconnected they are with everything. Okay, every action has a reaction. Every reaction sets forward a pathway of different things. Okay, so the animals learn to adapt, or they don't survive. Okay, and ultimately, those are lessons that we should have been observing and taken into consideration, as we go through what it is that we do. The building of cities and stuff like that, and accumulating all the people in there and everything, and then displacing the that which was there before. That's been going on since man has been coming together in tribal groups. Okay, but at the same time, the animals that were used to going from point A to point B and migrating, they would go into a place, and then for a period of time, they would change the environment in that place before they had to move on and allow that environment to recuperate. Okay, so that cycle is kind of almost a natural cycle. But when the natural cycle gets stopped or gets disrupted, okay, as in the case of what man does, and making changes that are more permanent. And I don't think they are permanent in the long run, because time will eventually eat up all of our cities. Okay. The other things have to make an adjustment for that. But you had that question up on the screen right there, that from Anna Marie, and I would like to address that on Colorado Bigfoot. I have watched a lot of Colorado Bigfoot's videos over the years. I've watched quite a bit of Bigfoot stuff. He is in the mountain areas out there. Now, one of the things that I'll find out that I am very aware of is whenever you're in areas where there's large amounts of stone, okay, there are just all kinds of fluctuations in energy, all kinds of openings in those stones. And, in my way of thinking, Creator has created the heaven. He created all the planes of existence, the great universe, and all the different dimensions within all of those things. So there's ultimate possibilities. Okay. All of these things can exist in the same spot because they're different frequencies. And when those frequencies get close together, okay, normally, if they're not the same frequency, they all have a tendency to repel each other, and you'll get this little buffer zone. But every once in a while, the energy fluctuates enough that those can come together. And when they come together, they can create openings. They can create eye holes to look into. They can create things where things can move back and forth. If that was not the case, our prayers would never make it to heaven, because they have to transcend through all of that, through the pure umbilical of our intent. Okay. So he's had some fascinating stuff on there. He sees some things, as do some other people that are out in the woods all the time when they're out there looking for these big fellas. In upstate New York, where I'm from, originally, I don't live there any longer, but where I'm from originally, it used to be part of the old ancient seabed up there. So there's a lot of fossils and everything else up there. Okay. And there's just all kinds of minerals and everything. But we also have the big guys up there. We've got a family history of interacting with them all the way back to our childhood. They still come around my brother's off-grid cabin up there in northern New York. Okay. But one of the things that I want to bring up is that there's also creatures out there that are there. You can't really see them there, but it reminds me of the cloaking of the predator. It's like it bends light around itself. You can see brush move. You can actually see the difference in light patterns and everything like that. So you know that there's something there, but it's just not fully there to be seen. Now, that raises the question. Is that the case because they're not fully into the vibration of this realm and maintaining a vibration of another realm, or what? So I know those things are possible, so I don't discount them. So when somebody like Colorado Bigfoot shows it up, or Standing Goats Rescue, which is another one that I would recommend, Donnie and his wife and family, he's got the big guys down there. Okay, and he's seen a lot of these different little things out there too. Okay, and he's in the panhandle of Florida. So, you get these stories from all over the place. They're probably not stories. You guys are seeing stuff that I can't see because it's not within my ability to do it. Plus I got cataracts. You're muted.
Yeah, look at that.
I said,
Yay.
try the other eye, the one that don't wear glasses. Yeah,
Yep, control the bending of light. That's right.
I think, I described that once like that. I don't know if you were listening before, but we were talking about the relationship of the divine and how that spreads out and in the colors, and then I kind of see it like that light coming through a prism, right? And then you have the rays that show up that are visible. I kind of feel like we're the prism, and we're to receive the light in order to be able to display it as creators. You know what I mean? We're nothing but that conduit for that, I think,
Exactly.
in a lot of cases. And we all have a different spectrum. That's the beauty of it,
Yeah, that light coming in might be pure, but the light going out is absolutely governed by the type of filter we are.
Right.
It either, we may not be able to even absorb all of the light, and the light we put out is just a poor imitation of the light that it should be. Okay.
Right.
Or perhaps there's not even some spectrums of light that we're able to allow to pass through us. So yeah, the filter that we are is important.
Yeah, I gotta clean that glass, guys. Get it polished. Polish it up. Spit shine it. If you
That's
got to.
That's what I call washing the fly specks off the light bulb.
I call it washing the dirty window.
Those little fly specks that are on the light bulb, isn't that fly poop?
Yes, it is.
I thought so.
Yep. Life has a tendency to
even that
on
white
your
little
light.
tip on the top of that little dot. That's fly poop too, right?
Well, you're not going to go through life without getting some on you.
Oh, you know it.
But the important thing,
gotta come out.
Thank you, Robert.
If you learn to not let it hit you, so you have to wash it off, but just hold a bucket up to catch it so you can use it for fertilizer in your garden, you're the winner.
Yeah. Mandalas. You guys, do you realize that mandalas came about to show you the frequency of different things? Mandalas are literally frequency as a visual. That's what mandalas are. They are the visual key to that frequency, to that energy. That's what I believe those truly are. And you have to be careful with them because they are energy. So certain energy is not always good for you. You have to be careful. And use discernment. And use those gifts that you have that say, this isn't, nope, not doing it. Can't do it. Or, oh, that one right there. Because your spirit will know what it wants, what it needs. Just like your body knows if you're thirsty, if you're hungry, if you need to have sustenance, your body will tell you, hey, I'm hungry, or man, my mouth's dry. I need to get something. You will know, but you have to utilize those tools that you've been given to understand what's good for you and what is bad for you. And that is different for each human being. I believe that anyway. Yes, visuals of frequencies. Back in I want to say the 40s, 1940s, perhaps, they were studying frequency with water, salt, and sand. And when they played specific frequencies, these mandalas would display in the water, salt, and sand. Okay? It wasn't about the medium. That's why they used different mediums, because it wasn't so much about the medium as it was about the frequency and how it affected matter. Frequency affects matter. If you guys still think the 5G stuff is baloney, frequency affects matter. We are matter. Frequency affects energy. We are also energy. So we totally have to think about that stuff, Yes, I do believe that they can listen. If you're still watching television, turn that thing off. Turn that thing off. It's poison. It is poison.
Because you're only supporting them too.
Not even with the support thing or not, but you're literally feeding yourself poison. And propaganda, because that's what a lot of that stuff is. Go outside, enjoy some fresh air. I have noticed, I don't know if anybody else has noticed, but here in the Ohio Valley, we are having, our skies are a blush every day for the last, week?
Yeah.
Straight.
Something close.
there is a blush in the sky, in the air, and I don't know what's causing that blush. It's not. I don't feel uncomfortable in it or anything, but it's different. It's like a different energy in the air, and it's visible. It's really visible.
Yep.
Anybody else? Are you
Well,
seeing
you
it,
know,
Pappy, up there?
yes. You know what else is, well, we've been putting a lot of stuff in the air anyways, as mankind goes, but the sky has been getting really clear recently. What I have noticed is that there is a difference of the energy that's striking the earth and its interaction with our magnetic field. Our magnetic field is fluctuating right now. Okay. And it's fluctuating for a lot of, well, I don't know exactly what's causing it. We've got the volcanoes going on all over the place. The weather patterns are changing a little bit, but that fluctuation that's occurring, that solar energy that's coming in, if you will, that cosmic energy that's coming in, has changed a little bit. Okay. And that's all part of the change that we talked about, the shift in energies. Okay. That great awakening everyone seems to talk about and things of this nature. Nobody really knows what that manifestation is going to entail, really. It's all subjective and objective and head scratching most of the time. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like looking at the Mandelas that you were talking about earlier. I don't know if you've considered uh, um, this or not. When you look at a Mandela, okay, the Mandela, uh, once it's focused on, and once you look at it, becomes a living thing. Okay, because once you key on the frequency note, okay, you'll see that it is only a static representation of something that is in movement.
Yeah.
Okay, and every Mandela is nothing more than a fractal of the whole. There are infinite Mandelas. Okay, just like there are infinite planes. Different dimensions, if you will. Okay. Um, so the Mandela becomes a key that when it's placed into something allows access into a different realm. And yes, you're right. You don't really know what doorway you've opened up with a certain Mandela. Okay. Certain Mandelas are designed to be able to resonate with a certain adept's energy abilities. Okay, some are more educated, if you will, by different types of energy and how they can utilize it safely. Others are not. They're taken completely surprised by it. So energy is there. It's neither good nor bad. It just is.
Right.
Our interaction with it and our reaction to it is what puts those labels on it. If you catch my drift. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the
And
possibilities are limited.
I'm sure you've already considered this, Pappy, but I'm going to say this for our audience out there. We spoke of planes before you replaced it with dimensions, and I understand, because you're making it where people can understand what you're talking about. But I ask them to consider this. This is the planet, and I want you to break down that word, plane, right? Et usually dignifies a subsection of something, right? Like an inlet or an outlet. It's not the main thing. It's just a tiny little subsection of something bigger. So we are a planet. So if you don't think that there are multiple planes, consider that we are a subsection of a plane. We are a planet, right? So that word actually is correct. And I don't care if you think we're round or flat, it doesn't matter. We are a subsection. We are a plane of existence, and there are more than one.
Yeah.
And that's how I feel. That's how I see it. I try to, make it where other people hopefully see that as well. Hey, Camo, good to see you.
Most of the teachings and religions will support your statement. If that was not the case, they wouldn't talk about angelic beings coming from the heavenly realms and many principalities and these sort of things. Okay, so that that's an obvious statement. People have difficulty with it because we can't see it, because we're in this realm. This is what we operate in with the tools we're given: the eyes we got to see, and the ears that hear, and the fingers that feel. Our only way of being able to transcend that is to utilize this. Okay, in a process of connecting to the heart. Okay, to go to and then be able to leave this behind while we do the other traveling. Okay, we travel with our mind, our intent, and our emotion in our spiritual bodies. The spiritual body is able to go between these planes. Okay, so and I think people can learn that.
Yeah, I believe that as well.
But people can learn to jump out of airplanes, but not everybody wants to do it.
That's right.
This is true. And I always use that puzzle analogy too. I've heard you use it as well, but we're all pieces of a bigger picture, right? And we all have our special place. We're all shaped the way we're shaped, and we all fit exactly where we fit in the bigger plan. And just because we don't know that, well, we're not the ones putting the puzzle together, right? Our job is to fit where we go. That's our job.
Yeah.
And to do the work that we're here to do, which is to fit in that place that creator has designed specifically for us that we can do. So.
Well, I have a saying that I use, and that is, be who you are where you are, and be who you are the best you can be where you are. If you want to be somebody else, someplace else, explore the possibility and do your best to get there. And then do your best to learn who you are now that you're there. Because you're going to be confused.
Yeah.
When you step across the threshold, you're being reborn again into something brand new. You may not have the same laws of physics or anything else. Who knows?
Nothing.
Missing a piece of the couch. My dog bended into you.
Yeah, bloom where you were planted. That's another good one. Yeah.
That's another good one. Dawn lights.
That's true.
Pinky toe that always gets stubbed on a piece of furniture. Oh, that was a good one there.
Oh, Don, you just made me cringe.
I know.
I think everybody can relate to that.
Yeah,
Everybody. Yeah.
that's a good way of looking at it.
Jeff, you and I can relate to my feeling of me stubbing my toe, or my wife telling me that she just stubbed her toe, is the same feeling that we get when we go into cold water too slowly and it's inching up. That's the feeling I get.
Yeah. Oh man, yeah, that's funny. That's so funny. Then Gary, he's saying that he's a lost piece in the couch.
Yeah,
I'm the one that got kicked under it, but that's okay. It's better than being the Lego on the floor. I'm telling you
man.
what.
Well, can I interject something into the conversation, perhaps a little off the subject of what you were discussing earlier, but this is for the benefit of everyone that's listening there. We're coming into the fall season, the harvest season, if you will. We know that the change is coming.
I think he'd like this.
And I would like to offer each of you something to think about. You planted seeds earlier in the year. way early in the year with your hopes and dreams about what the year was going to be bringing. And you tended that garden in the spring of the year and watched it grow through all the year. And you had to pull a whole lot of weeds and everything else. And you've all gone through some changes. You've all gone through some growth. Perhaps some of you have taken a couple of steps back. But along with the fall usually comes a little cooler weather. And in the fall is when I like to do what I call the reflection fire. And what I'll do is I'll go out into my sacred space out there and I'll put a fire in the sacred pit. And what I'll do is I'll do a combination of a thank you for the growth that took place in that year, and also a giveaway of the things that I don't want to carry in through the winter and hibernate with to take into the new year. All right. So this is an opportunity to harvest that which each of you have grown this year. Okay. Now take a look at the fruits of what you've harvested, because not all of it is necessarily good. You know, if you've harvested a lot of bad feelings, or you harvested ill health or mental anguish or things of this nature, you don't want to store that stuff away. It's going to go bad when you put it in storage. Okay, that's the kind of stuff that you don't want to save for the seed stock for the new year. Okay, so this is the time to harvest the good. Keep out the very best seeds that you've grown for the new crops. The new crop within yourself, within your heart, within your thinking, within your balance, within your harmony. Okay, and the crops that can produce such a bountiful fruit when they grow that there will be plenty for you to give away to others. Okay, take the old stuff, the contaminated stuff, the stuff that's been modified and covered in all the pesticides and all the nasty stuff. Put that into the fire to be burned up. At least you can get some warmth from that, of knowing that the heat that comes off that is a reminder to you of the heat that would have been burning inside of you had you kept it. Okay, this is the time of year to do that and reflect. Okay, and then when it gets up to around the Thanksgiving time of year that we celebrate in this nation here, you might actually have something to say, you know what, I got a lot to be thankful for. And every one of you should always get up every morning in Thanksgiving. Every one of you should stop at least once a day to be in Thanksgiving. Okay, and end your day in giving thanksgiving. Now, why am I saying that? It's just a simple statement. Because you're a miracle. Had Creator not said that you were important enough to be created in the first place, you would never know the hardships or the joys. You would never know the feel of the earth under your feet when you walk on it. You're a miracle. That's a blessing. Acknowledge that, if nothing else, in your day. You're special.
Yeah.
You're so special that Creator will hear you if you talk to him. A parent knows his children. Utilize what you're given.
This is true.
Be the best you are where you are. And that's what I'm going to leave you with.
Thank you, Pappy. We love you. And we thank you so much for your wisdom. You were just what I needed today.
Yep.
Y'all be good to each other. It's important in these times.
It is very important at these times.
Thank you
That's
so
very,
much.
very, very true.
An attitude of gratitude.
And like the fire, like you're saying, having a fire, it's a lot of people. I mean, I know it's not so much out in the country or in the city. You still do the same thing. You might not be able to have a fire, but that's what a lot of people out in the country do when they're having a fire. They're getting rid of all the leaves, sticks, old wood that you don't need anymore, like you don't want to have to worry about it for spring cleanup. It's getting rid of everything and just kind of sweeping there all the cobwebs and gathering everything and just getting it out of the way for that wintertime sleep. And then come springtime, it's less work, and you can focus on providing more of a harvest and concentrating on your fruits and your labor that you put out towards your gardening and your home and family and keeping it, yeah. Spring clean in a fall like type style. It's a reflection of what you want it to be.
Yep. I'm kind of preaching to the choir here, I know.
Hi.
Somebody need to hear it.
Somebody needs your words,
And
they reach the right.
And people who might see this later, it helps them. So it's
Hi,
all
Dragonfly.
good. It's all good. Go ahead.
Hello.
I
didn't mean to interrupt you guys. I just actually came from town,
no.
and I'm like, ooh, I gotta see if I can talk to you guys about something quick.
Go ahead.
Hey, I have just all of a sudden I just started having all these things coming and racing into my mind, so I shared a few of those about what is making some connections and connecting dots for me, and because I'm just jumping from one subject to another, and it seems like everything starts leading to something else, and then all of a sudden somebody on one channel will say something, or something I'm kind of interested in will ring a bell that'll go off in my mind that, oh, so and so said this. Then I go back to another place, and I'm just like between the flat earth, mud floods, Bigfoot, extraterrestrials, the what do you call it now, hearing like Gene Decode on Hawk last night and everything else. All of a sudden this is starting to come to me about, I got to think back about something here that popped into my head over the last 2 days, and I've just been feeling very drawn to it. And I would really ask that maybe some of us look into this. These migrants and everything are coming here, and everything that's going on, and I'm being nice calling it migrants.
Mm-hmm.
You look back in the late 1800s, they had the orphan trains. And there was so much going on where they were taking away the knowledge of the Native Americans. Yeah. I think that it was a plan, and this is kind of what they're trying to do again, is screw everything up so that there's going to be so many people so confused and in need. And when those kids are being adopted out, like in the past, the families being broke up because they're so desolate.
All right, so Dragonfly, Robert had posted a documentary link in the chat.
Mm-hmm.
Robert, if you wouldn't mind posting that again. There are several of us that have been looking at it and looking at the different information presented and how it all connects.
They're doing it again.
I would say to anybody that's interested in how some of these supposedly not connected things are actually indeed quite connected, to go just watch that, watch it with an open mind. Get that link out of chat. I promise you will not be disappointed. Please take it in small increments. It is a 5-hour documentary. Yeah. There is a lot of information to take in.
So just and like you said, and you think about the things that you have now learned, okay, and take the things that you have been growing up with on the structure of the system and see how this all connects and interweaves. don't let it frighten you or freak you out. It's just
We all know there's stuff
there's
that we
something
don't
there
know.
we don't know,
right?
but we're all learning. So I'm glad you exactly what you did, Dragonfly. You just take it all in and
Spoiler alert, NASA lies.
Yeah, NASA lies.
Oh,
Sorry.
and it is. I've been taking in so much stuff for like the last 5 years, and then
You're at the
all
game
of a sudden it
with
does. It
sunrise.
becomes like your head feels like it's gonna explode with all this stuff when
See,
as
you
you
have to
start
take
connecting the dots.
you got to take time away from that, and
And
you
just-
you will
Mhm.
start connecting the dots in a natural way that's not stressful. Things
Right.
will appear that you hadn't seen before. It's like you're looking through new eyes, and
Oh,
as you
definitely.
spiritually evolve, these
You'll-
connections will come from the
Yeah.
information you've already gathered.
Yep.
It's you can't let it stress you though, because those
Yep.
Oh, right.
connections will come when they're meant to come, and then when they're made, other connections will follow indubitably.
Remember, it's always been about the dark and the light, and that's the evil and the good. So it's
You might have heard me in the past talk about my mom being an orphan Native American, and her brothers that were older there were the 3 kids that were the youngest that ended up staying in the orphanage, but the older ones were dispersed throughout the what did they call them? Where they sent the kids to be educated, the boarding schools, but they also worked on
yeah.
the places where they stayed and boarded.
All right.
This taking of the taking of the knowledge that we pass on to our children and everything. I just appreciate how much you guys work so hard to help others realize in these times right now that we can teach our own kids, and you put it out there like be aware of some of the things that are going on where they're trying to make it so they can come and get your kids.
Yeah. Well,
My mom all her life felt she was unlovable, and at a point in my life she had me feeling that way. My dad ended up getting custody of us kids later in life, and then I had a stepmom that was very strict, very Catholic, that did some harm but did more good than not in discipline and everything. But I've always been one of those free spirits that just, I love to be by myself. I've questioned so many things, and so many things that I was being taught didn't weigh right on my heart. It didn't feel right.
that's
I spent a lot of time by myself. I was not a good reader, but I was very
I think that was my
interested.
saving grace,
Oh,
because
man.
I was by myself all the time, but I was never alone. I was always by myself, but I was never alone.
Right. I was
know what I
always
mean?
walking with Jesus.
I
Always. He was my
enjoy
man.
and still do enjoy time alone. Just to go out and do and be, just to be.
Exactly. No. I came through a little stressful point in my life where I kind of ran off to go back to where my origins were, and I spent some time in Minnesota, and I spent a lot of time in the woods walking and in gravel pits. And I just, was looking for special stones and crystal and the different types of rock. And I do believe they do hold different energies.
Yeah,
But
they do.
when I got into those silent, quiet places, and sometimes right on the North Lake side of Lake Superior with the water crashing and the sound of the rocks rolling and getting my feet down in that water feeling those rocks under my feet, it did. It gave me a different energy.
It does.
It
You're
gave
right.
me a peace. But I wanted to leave you with that and say God bless you guys for all you're doing. And Pappy has so much knowledge, and I just appreciate you guys so much.
Well, thank
And
you.
I
We
love
do appreciate it. And
Well, Dragonfly, before you drop
people like
off,
Pappy.
I'd like to. I picked up on something that you said when you were talking about all the dots and connecting the dots. Okay, you are a prime example of someone that I would utilize as an example of a person that uses their gathering basket and picks up little pieces here and there and puts them in their gathering basket. And then later on takes them out and examines them and will find pieces that fit together. Or later on, we'll find pieces that now have understanding based upon where you've been since you found those pieces. Okay.
You're gonna make me cry because I made myself a marble bag when I was a little girl. And I used to pick up little things that were unusual, like a snake skin or a tooth I found laying by a riverbed, a piece of bone. Sometimes I would find like a hinge for a door, things like that, and I felt some kind of connection with these things, and that I don't know how
Yeah,
to say it, but
completely
the
agree.
gathering
Same
basket.
here. It's same here.
You take those pieces, those little pieces, and you meditate on them, and every one of them will reveal a teaching to you. Like for example, you mentioned something, the hinge. What does the hinge do?
Opens and
The
closes
door
doors.
It holds
allows
pieces
things
together,
to
but allows movement.
movement. There we go.
Okay,
Thank you.
Yes.
So there's a lesson there. What does a tooth do?
Helps.
Breaks larger pieces into smaller pieces so that they can be easily digested. Everything has a lesson within it. And that's the thing that should make our life so exciting when you get out there. Everything has a lesson in it. We don't know what it is. Our purpose is to learn what the lesson is.
Exactly.
You're well on your way, Dragonfly. Keep flying there, girly girl.
You're
Thank
doing
you.
fine. Yes, you're doing fine,
just
sweetheart. You are not alone. You're just fine.
Maybe it isn't a thunderbird. Maybe you're a phoenix rising from the fire and the ashes
Yeah.
to be
Wait, look at that.
reborn.
Thank you. You all have a wonderful day, and I'll jump out so you can continue to teach.
Oh.
Sorry.
Well,
Got
thank
to let
you.
Uncle Scott know when he gets home.
You're more than welcome to come up anytime, Dragonfly.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Well, Pappy, do you have final thoughts for today? Gosh, thank you so much for coming up with
thank
us
you for
today.
stepping up today.
We really do really love the message that you help us get across to people. And you have such a way about you that people listen. Whether you want to be a teacher or not, I think you're kind of destined to. We love you for it.
I might not have final thoughts, but apparently hi there. You're my granddaughter, don't you? I adopted you.
Oh, you adopted you.
Well, my final thoughts for the day are this. Okay,
I now have many grandparents.
my final thoughts are this.
First there's Bibi.
Stop, please. Don't keep
For
interrupting.
today. Not only you, Heather, Jeff, and that beautiful little baby of yours, but everybody that's in the chat, you have been my medicine today. You have made me feel better today than I felt yesterday.
Good.
Okay, and you've given me the ability to be healed within the limitations. Okay, you're much more powerful than you think you are. Okay, you're much more important than you think than each of us think we are individually. Collectively, we are each other's medicine. Collectively,
Yes, we are.
all a reflection of the beauty in the world around us. So I wanted to thank you. That's my message for today.
Well, thank you very much. But we all do need each other. That's the thing. Even as we are healing you, you are healing us.
Yes,
We're-
you are
we're
very
healing
much a
the-
balm.
We're healing the chat as well as the chat corresponds with us. We heal each other. We do.
I'm happy to be on the same wheel as you.
We're all on the same. We're on
You
the
know
right
that,
path.
as all of you. I'm happy that we are all on the same medicine wheel, spinning through this wonderful world.
All of you are
Yeah.
welcome to walk on my lawn anytime you want to. Just be careful where you step.
Ah,
Yes, we saw your beautiful babies.
Okay, see you all.
all right. Have a great afternoon and evening.
Bye, Pappy.
Thanks, Pappy.
Love and light. All right, guys. I think that we're going to wrap that up for today.
Yeah.
That seems to be a good place to leave it. Remember, we should all be being medicine for each other. Absolutely right, Pappy. Absolutely right. And we can help each other just being there for each other.
There
So
you go.
yes, that's right. Kindness. Hey, you guys, here, I think I got this one finished. You guys want to see it real quick? Oh, the arrow one? Oh, this is one that
Oh.
Raina did.
Oh, yes. Yes.
And
There you go.
every act of kindness grows the spirit and strengthens the soul. We bought this as a coloring book, and I kind of want to put all of them up as posters because they're really cool.
And we use my glitter gel pens for them.
And that one there, Mom and her did.
Nope, this
Nope,
one's
this is
just
you?
me.
Oh, okay.
I did a few details. Some on the some of them on the paisleys.
You didn't do any of. I did these. You didn't do these ones. I because not in this book. In the other book when we were coloring together. But anyway, show you guys our coloring book. There's no more that are done yet.
Mine's done.
Oh yeah.
Sheesh.
Dad's is done. Oops, where's it at?
It's the bicycle.
See, this was supposed to be
Yeah,
my
it's a bicycle.
coloring book,
Yeah, like,
but
I only did one though.
But Raina steals all of my coloring books. But I let her. Isn't that good? I love that. I love it, love it, love it.
My favorite part's the flower basket.
The flower basket. So anyway, spread some joy. Be some good medicine. We love you. Love and light until next time.
Goodbye.
Love you guys.